Flacco kind of calling people out there. You got a problem with those comments?
I agree with every word he said. He's absolutely right. But the reason is that they're afraid to do it is because Flacco's not that good and hasn't been good for a while. Now, from his point of view, Stephen A., he's like, yeah, but the way I've gotten, like, my numbers don't match my accomplishments, basically. Not only has he been on good teams, but Flacco ain't scared. He's been that, like, Eli Manning. Like, there's some quarterbacks, oh, is Flacco elite? We asked for years, right? No, the answer was always no. But he's not scared to try. You know, he's not scared to go for it. He's not scared to lose. That's his best quality. He's really saying, I think, not only it's not just coaching decisions, it's, guys, if you have me as your quarterback, and you're going to be 2-6 anyway, go for it. That's one of the things I can do is I'm not scared.
He was absolutely right in his criticism, and he's to be applauded for what he did. Because Vic Fangio elected to bring Joe Flacco to Denver, along with John Elway. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's a veteran quarterback, and he's saying that you're scared to lose at 2-5. That is a profound criticism because what do you have to lose? Exactly. That's what he was pointing out. If you have nothing to lose and you still are scared,
you're just scared.
That is the ultimate indictment. You're just a scared head coach. And so for him to point that out, and we got to give him credit. And let's also be very clear about something. Joe Flacco never says anything.
Yeah.
He never says anything. So for him to come out and say those words, you know how bad it is with Fangio and Denver.
Scared money doesn't make any money. All right, Bill Belichick won his 300th career game on Sunday, becoming only the third coach in history to reach that mark. Stephen A., Belichick the greatest coach in sports history?
I don't think there's any question about it. It just can't be denied any longer. 6 Super Bowl championships as a head coach, an additional 2 as a defensive coordinator, about 3 additional trips to the Super Bowl, 2 to 3 additional trips to the Super 3, I believe it is. When you look at what this man has accomplished, it's just phenomenal. And when you listen to guys that have played in the league for him and against him, all saying the same exact thing. Matter of fact, I'll go as far as this. I've never, ever, ever heard a player say someone else was the greatest coach that ever lived or that they ever faced. Ever. Since Bill Belichick has been here.
Lombardi for a couple generations ago.
I'm saying in this generation, I have not heard one single player, not one, say that there's a better coach than Bill Belichick.
First of all, I gotta start with the shade that Tom Brady just threw at Bill Belichick. Talking about, especially the way he started without me when he was no good. Isn't it interesting how he got me? I'm telling you, man, I want to see a divorce there. I want to see Brady go to Los Angeles, Belichick, go get Phillip Rivers, swap quarterbacks, see who does what. Let me say
that's not fair now.
about
Tom
greatest
42 now.
Not fair. Let's say about greatest coach in sports history. What's the competition? Phil Jackson won 11 championships as coach, but in a sport where 1 or 2 players has a much greater sway on the outcome. You have Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, right? Red Auerbach was more dominant as a coach, but in a league that was much smaller when he had by far the best team, and Bill Russell, right? Like, Belichick's doing it. And by the way, with Phil Jackson, when the league changed, he couldn't keep up with it. Bill Belichick's doing it, spanning eras in the NFL, in a parity league. He's unbelievable. He is, I hate to say it, because it's with a Boston team, and I'm a New York sports fan. He's the greatest coach in American team sports history.
Winston, there are moments where you got to feel a level of affection and affinity towards a head coach. You don't hear a head coach going out in a press conference and coming to the defense of his quarterback at the expense of other teammates like Bruce Arians just did. We learned something about when Jameis Winston yesterday, and it was a good thing.
When we talk about the great coaches in the NFL, obviously it starts with Belichick, and then we talk about Tomlin and Peyton and different guys and Pete Carroll. But if you want to just pluck a coach for your franchise, and you can hardly do better than Bruce Arians, and he's universally loved.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.